Good morning. Let us discuss about the bounded region or a potential well. In the last class, we discussed about the potential energy curve. So, this potential well is a part of potential energy curve. Okay. So, let us, before entering into this section, let us examine a graph. So, this is a graph. Here, let us consider this is the point B and this is point P and this is point Q. So, when we displace a particle from its equilibrium position, so this is at the rest position, the point B is the equilibrium, stable equilibrium point, or the particle is rest at here. So, when we give a force or when we displace the particle, it will move towards this point and then it will move towards this and it will move between the point P and Q. Okay, so this is the minimum potential energy point, because in the y-axis we are notating the potential energy and the x-axis is the position. So when the particle move towards this point or moving towards the P points, its total energy is always a constant throughout this path. So when it moves towards the point P, its potential energy increases, okay, and kinetic energy decreases in such a way that the total energy is a constant. So the particle will move and it will reach the point. Suppose this is the point P. So potential energy maximum at that point, the particle's kinetic energy is 0. Kinetic energy 0 means the velocity 0. The particle will stop here. And since its potential energy is maximum, it will move towards this point. Okay, as a result, the potential energy decreases and kinetic energy increases. And at this point, potential energy is 0, but its kinetic energy is maximum. That means velocity is maximum. Okay, so the particle will move towards the point Q. As a result, again its potential energy increases and it reaches a maximum value. We know that this is an unstable point, so the particle will move and as a result its kinetic energy increases and it will be maximum. So in all its path, its total energy is a constant. Okay. So let us consider the point of a stable equilibrium, that is the B point that we already discussed. A particle placed at the point B at rest can be displaced so that its total energy E of the particle become more than its minimum value of the potential energy. So first we give a force to the particle so that its energy increases and it will become total energy will be greater than the minimum potential energy U0. Okay, so the total energy is given by E is equal to K plus U, where K is its kinetic energy and U is its potential energy. So that the total energy is a constant. Since the system is conservative, we find that at any point x, the kinetic energy is given by, we know that kinetic energy is total energy minus potential energy, because potential energy plus kinetic energy and total energy. So, kinetic energy kittan total energy and the potential energy minus here. Okay, when the particle is at point, its kinetic energy is 0 and the total energy E is in the form of potential energy. So E ഇതാണ് പോയിന്റ് പി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ എന്താണ്, ഇവിടെ കൈനറ്റിക് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജി മാക്സിമം ആണ്, അവിടെ കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി എന്തായിരിക്കും, 0 ആയിരിക്കും. ഇതാണ് പോയിന്റ് ബി, ഇതാണ് പോയിന്റ് ക്യൂ, ഇതാണ് പോയിന്റ് പി. സോ പി ക്യൂ, ദിസ് ഈസ് സ്റ്റേബിൾ ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റ് ബി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോയിന്റ്. ഓക്കെ, so when the particle is at P, its kinetic energy is 0 and the potential energy is maximum. So the total energy is in the form of potential energy. In this problem, the particle is acted upon by the restoring force, which causes the particle to move towards the point B, because B is the equilibrium point, and hence its potential energy decreases gradually. So when it's moved from point P to B, its potential energy decreases gradually. the decrease in potential energy appears in the form of kinetic energy. Since the total energy should remain constant, at point B, the particle possesses minimum potential energy U0 and maximum kinetic energy. Now, after crossing this position B, the particle moves towards Q, okay, where again its total energy becomes potential, and the particle comes to rest, because at that point at Q also the kinetic energy is 0. Kinetic energy 0 means velocity 0. The particle comes to rest. Now at this point Q, the particle is again acted upon by the restoring force, causing it move towards the point P. Thus the particle oscillate with certain period T between the turning points P and Q about the point B. Okay, and it is confined in the region between P and Q. So what happened to the particle? The particle will oscillate between the point P and Q, okay, and it is around the point B. Okay, B is the midpoint, and it will oscillate between the point P and Q, because at this point its potential energy is minimum. We know that this is potential energy, y-axis is potential energy, it is minimum here. When it's moved towards its potential energy increases, and its maximum at here, and kinetic energy is minimum here. As a result, the particle will stop and it is moved towards this direction because of the restoring force, and its kinetic energy increases. So at this point it have the maximum kinetic energy, so the particle is displaced towards the point Q, and when the particle reaches the Q, so its potential energy gradually increases from B to Q also, and it will have a maximum value at Q. Okay, so when it is at Q, its kinetic energy is 0, it will stop, and as a result of it, the restoring force acting on it, as a result this particle is oscillate between the point P and Q. Okay, so the turning points are P and Q. So such a region is called the bounded region or potential well, and if the particle is limited to this region, because this is well means, or bounded region means, the particle cannot move away from the turning point P and Q. So particle is restricted to move inside the point P and Q about B. Okay, so they are bounded, they are not free, they are bounded by certain forces. Okay, so this is known as the bounded region. So this is just like a well of varying depth, so this is known as the potential well, because here the height of this well is nothing but the potential energy. So this is a potential energy well. Okay, state is known as bound state. Okay, so the difference in potential energy corresponding to the top and bottom of the potential well is known as the binding energy. So the potential energy difference between the top and bottom of the potential well is known as the binding energy for the potential. Okay, so binding energy is the energy difference between the top and bottom point of a potential well. If the total energy of the particle is less than the binding energy, then the particle executes oscillatory motion about the point of stable equilibrium that we already discussed. So here what happened is, in a bound state, the particle is moving in oscillatory motion between the turning points about a equilibrium point. Okay, so this is known as the oscillatory motion of bounded particle. So in your mathematical class, you already studied about the Taylor series. Can be expressed in Taylor. So u of x can be written as u0 plus du by dx at x0, x minus x0. So this is the differential of the u with respect to x. First we calculate the differential of the u with respect to x, and we have to find out its value at x0. Okay. Value നമ്മൾ അവസാനമാണ് കൊടുക്കുക, ആദ്യം ഡിഫറൻഷ്യൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് അത് ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റ് x0 അതിന്റെ വാല്യൂ കൊടുക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് കിട്ടും? du by dx at x0 into x minus x0 plus d square u by dx square plus at x0 into x minus x0 the whole square by 2 factorial plus d cube u by dx cube into x minus x0 the whole cube by 3 factorial plus etc. etc. So this is the Taylor series. This can be applicable for any function f of x. So here we are discussing about the potential energy. So we are notating that function as u of x, where u0 du by dx at x0 are the values at x is equal to 0. ഇതാണ് അതിന്റെ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജിയുടെ ജനറൽ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ. നമുക്കറിയാം, നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റ്, അതായത് ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റിൽ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജി മിനിമം എന്ന് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ u is equal to 0, u0 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 0 ആയിരിക്കും. എവിടെ? അറ്റ് ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റിൽ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഈ u of x ഇതിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടേം ക്യാൻസൽ ആവും. പിന്നെ du by dx at x0 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ സ്ലോപ്പാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ സ്ലോപ്പ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? അറ്റ് x0 എന്താണ് സ്ലോപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? സ്ലോപ്പ് 0 ആയിരിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ സ്ലോപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാവും, പക്ഷെ പല സ്ഥലത്തും സ്ലോപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാവും. x0 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സ്ഥലത്ത് x0 equilibrium point, its slope is 0, so this term is also 0. Okay, but d square u by dx square has a value, positive quantity. It is written as c. Okay, and d cube u by dx cube is taken as c1. So we can rewrite this equation because these two terms vanishes and we have these terms in our equations. So u of x can be written as, here this is nothing but we are taking this as d square u by dx square at x0 as it is a constant, it is taken as a c. So we can write this equation as u of x is equal to c into x minus x0 the whole square by 2 factorial plus this can be written as c1 into x minus x0 the whole cube divided by 3 factorial, etc. Okay, so here u is equal to u0 plus 0 plus c1 by 2 factorial into x minus x0 the whole square plus c1 by 3 factorial into x minus x0 the whole cube plus etc. etc. Okay, let the origin be at x0. Let the minimum potential energy u0 is equal to 0. അപ്പോൾ x0 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒറിജിനിൽ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജി 0 ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. x0 നമ്മൾ 0 ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം പോയിന്റിനെ നമ്മൾ 0 ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കുക. അങ്ങനെ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? ഈ x0 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സാധനം 0 ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഒറിജിൻ x0 നമ്മൾ ഒറിജിൻ ആക്കി എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ x0യുടെ വാല്യൂ 0 ആയിട്ട് വരും. അതേപോലെ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജി, മിനിമം പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എനർജി 0 എന്ന് അസ്യൂം ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ ടേമും വാനിഷ് ചെയ്യും. സോ യു ക്യാൻ ബി റിട്ടൺ ആസ് u is equal to c1 by 2 factorial into x square plus c2 by 3 factorial into x cube. Okay, so the force acting on the particle is given by, for a conservative force field, F is equal to minus du by dx. So that is given by minus cx. അത് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ we have to differentiate this equation. Okay, നമ്മൾ ഇത് differentiate ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ you will, when you differentiate, this is du by dx. So when you differentiate this, 2x x square become 2x, so 2 cancel, so you will get minus is coming from this term because f is equal to minus du by dx. So this term is, when we differentiate this, you will get minus cx minus c1 x square by 2, because this is 3 factorial. 3 factorial is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1. So when we differentiate 3x square, you will get 3x. So that 3 and this 3 cancel. So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So this term become, when you differentiate this term, you will get, this is minus c1 x square by 2 minus c2 x cube by 6, etc. Okay, here c1, c2, here c1 and c2, etc. are zeros, because when we neglect the higher power terms, we will get the f is equal to minus c1x and u is equal to half cx square. So when we go for higher amplitude, we can neglect c1 and c2. So f is given by minus ex. Or from this, the potential energy, when you integrate this, you will get half cx square. because F is equal to minus dou u by dou x, or u is equal to minus f dx. So when we integrate this, you will get potential energy as half cx square. Okay. The force acting on a particle is proportional to the displacement. Okay. And c is a constant which is known as the force constant. So we already we know that what is this equation. This equation is an equation for a harmonic oscillator which is oscillating in a small amplitude, and the expression for potential energy for a harmonic oscillator with small amplitude is half cx square. So the force is proportional to the displacement, and the this constant is known as the force constant. Okay, so if the graph is plotted between u and x, it will be parabolic in shape. Okay, so because it is in the form of half cx square, this is an equation of parabola. From this we understand that in the case of a harmonic oscillator, so this is the case of a harmonic oscillator. Okay, in the case of a oscillations of small amplitude, the displacement x is small so that higher powers of x can be neglected. So u is equal to half cx square and f is equal to minus cx. Hence, for small amplitude oscillations, the potential energy well is parabolic and the oscillation is simple harmonic type. So the important point is that in a potential energy well, okay, and for small oscillations, the motion of this particle is in a simple harmonic type. Okay, so the small oscillations, the potential energy well is parabolic and the oscillations are simple harmonic in type. If C1, C2 are not zeros, the potential energy well is not parabolic and the oscillations of the system are unharmonic in nature. So what is harmonic oscillator and what is an unharmonic oscillation? For a large amplitude, the potential energy curve is in the form of an unharmonic oscillation. So harmonic oscillator, the amplitude of the oscillations is small. So we can neglect the higher powers of amplitude because that type of oscillation is known as harmonic oscillations. If in the potential well is not parabolic and the oscillations is known as the unharmonic oscillations. If the total energy of the system is constant, we call that as a conservative force. In all the cases, it is not so, not like, okay. So in the case of a conservative force, the total energy of the system, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy, is a constant. Then that type of conservative force field is known as the, so that type of field is known as the conservative force field. If in that case, the change in potential energy plus change in kinetic energy is equal to 0 because E is a constant. When we differentiate this will become 0. So we know that from the work energy theorem, the work done is stored as kinetic energy. Okay, so the work done on a particle by the conservative force remains stored upon it as its potential energy. So that is already we already discussed in our previous classes. So, okay, this is a peculiarity of conservative force field where the energy is work done or energy is stored as the potential energy. Hence, it follows that the W is equal to delta K plus delta U is equal to 0, or delta U is equal to minus delta K, or that is nothing but the work done. So WC is equal to work done in conservative force field is equal to minus delta U. Okay, consider a body is sliding over a surface. The surface exerts a frictional force on the body. The friction always opposes the motion. The amount of work done moving a body through a distance r against the frictional force is Fr. In that case, equal amount of work has to be done if the body is to be brought back to its original positions. Since the frictional force is reverses. So therefore the total work done during the round trip is 2Fr. It is not equal to 0. Hence the work done during an non-conservative force field for a round trip is not equal to 0. So that type of force field is known as the non-conservative force field. The force is non-conservative if the work done by it in moving a body through any round trip is not 0. Friction and viscous force are examples for non-conservative force. Okay, a force is also said to be conservative if the work done by it in moving a particle between 2 points depends on its path travel between the points. Okay, unlike in the case of a conservative force field, hence the work done is taking a particle from A to another point B is not equal and opposite to the work done in taking from B to A. Hence the total work done for the round trip is not equal to 0. So that is the difference between the conservative force field and non-conservative force field.